Good morning and welcome to Plus TV Africa Sports. I am Mikhail Tinubu. It's a brand new day and a chance to get some sports in your diet. Chief Press Secretary to the Edo State Deputy Governor, Ibrahim Hiana Musa, has bemoaned the failure of the federal government to fulfill its financial pledge 6 weeks after the National Sports Festival ended. The FG had pledged to assist Edo with finance for the hosting of the festival after the state complained of a lack of funds to stage the biennial event. The festival, which was eventually held from April 2nd to 14th in Benin City, after several postponements, was almost ended midway into the competition, with Edo State government saying it could no longer bear the financial strain. However, after consultations, the federal government pledged to release funds before Edo agreed to continue with the NSF. Former Enyimba striker Victor Ezeji has berated the management and players of the Aba side after their exit from the CAF Confederations Cup. Enyimba were knocked out of the Confederation Cup by Egypt's side Pyramids on a 5-2 on aggregate. The two-time African champions lost the first leg 4-1 in Cairo before playing out a 1-1 draw in the reverse fixture in Aba on Sunday. Ezeji, who won the 2003 CAF Champions League with Enyimba, said some of the players had no business at the club. Enyimba have not been too convincing in the CAF Confederation Cup after they dropped from the CAF Champions League, Ezeji said. I want to bring on our guest this morning, Mr. Sayo Oguntoye.
Yeah, good morning. It's nice to be here.
Did anyone really, after the first leg drumming of 4-1, did anyone really expect them to come back?
Coming back after the first leg demolition in Egypt was always going to be very, very impossible. Though it's football, we never know where it's going to crack. Anything can happen in 90 minutes. Enyimba could come back, but they were not able to do so. Even they considered first, and they might have even lost that game if not for that equalizer. So Enyimba were not just ready for that tie. They were not ready.
But then the manager, knowing the kind of personnel he had available to him, should he have employed a different tactical approach to the game, the second leg or even the first leg from the get-go?
Yeah, if you ask me, I think Enyimba lost the tie from the first leg. You do not score first and then concede 4 goals. That was where they got it wrong. It was an uphill task for them now to come back from nowhere in the second leg after throwing away a first goal lead you had in the first leg in Egypt. And don't forget also that means they had an away goal which never even counted in the second leg. So Enyimba, with the kind of players they have, there's a Super Eagles invitee in there who is also, is a talented player. So
all right.
I think it did play to his player's strength.
All right, let's move on. Manchester United manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hopes that winning the Europa League would help define the season as a success for the club. United take on Spanish side Villarreal in Wednesday's May 26th final in Gdansk, looking to win their first trophy since the Europa League success under Jose Mourinho in 2017. Having finished second in the Premier League this term, Solskjaer is aiming even higher as he looks to restore United to their former glories. Solskjaer is looking to lead United to a glory 22 years to the day since his winner in the Champions League final against Bayern Munich completed a historic treble under Ferguson, and the Norwegian welcomed the presence of the club's most successful coach, who travels with the team to Poland. Solskjaer remains tight-lipped on Captain Harry Maguire's fitness. The 28-year-old sustained ankle ligament damage at Aston Villa 16 days ago and was using crutches until last week.
These players are ready for this, and that's the main thing. I've seen in them something growing inside of them, more and more confident, more and more robust, resilient to setbacks, and as a group, I'm confident that we're ready for this now. Every player who goes into a final has the expectation and pressure to win. You have to prepared to win. We plan to win. We expect to win. But I'm sure Unai feels the same with his team and his players and their players. So that's no different. It's been a long qualification to get here, and it's 50-50 when you get to a final. I feel, as I've said so many times now, confident in that we are ready for this. In a final, anything can happen. You can concede a goal in the first minute. You can get an injury, sent off. Anything can happen. So we just have to be ready for everything. That's the thing with a final. It's decided there and then.
Mr. Sayo Oguntoye, can you speak on the injury for us? What do you think? Is he going to make it?
You ask me, I think Harry Maguire's injury, yes, he's injured, we know that. But I feel Ole is trying to play mind games here. Something tells me in my mind that this guy is fit. He's fit for the final. You know, he has, since that injury in the Premier League, he has not kicked a ball. You know, he has been protected. And also, come to think about it, since, what's his name now? Since Harry Maguire has gone out injured, United has only managed to win one game in that span, and it shows you the influence he's had in that squad. So most United fans do not really, cherish or value the 80 million signing, but look at it now; it's panning out to become one of the best signings so far.
United are a championship-winning team. Once a team like this gets to the final, it's expected they're going to win. Do you think there's really anything to worry about for their fans?
Yes, I want to agree with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer here. It's a 50-50 game. Both teams are going to start with 11 players each, and they also have a large fan base, both of them, to cheer them on. So, knowing also with the fact that Emery is a very experienced manager when it comes to Europa League, he's also a seasoned tactician, and he has dumped out the likes of Arsenal en route to final. So United might have a chance to avenge the defeat of their brothers, the English brothers now. By winning.
Sorry. Speaking of Villarreal's coach, Unai Emery, Unai Emery believes Europa League final against Manchester United is an opportunity for his side to assert their credentials in Europe. Do you think they will make it? They will be truly a test for Man United at this point?
They will be more than a test for United, knowing with the fact that they failed to qualify through in their La Liga spot for the Champions League next season. So they will want to, put all their focus and their energy now in this game, knowing that if they win this game, they are going straight into the Champions League next season. They have failed in the La Liga to get that spot guaranteed. So this is a shot for them, a second chance for them. And I think he's telling his boys now, this United team are very, very big table. They have so many lapses. Let us concentrate more on the lapses of this team and then play to our strengths.
Unai Emery is known as a specialist in Europa League, having won it 3 times in a row with Sevilla. Unfortunately, he did get dumped out with Arsenal in the finals. However, Villarreal come from a 50,000 people strong community. I mean, they made, as a La Liga team, they made it into La Liga in 1998. Is this really going to be a competition, even with such a specialist at their home?
Yes, it is going to be a great competition. Don't forget that they didn't get an automatic spot into the final. They qualified the same way United qualified. Also, let me tell you that Unai Emery so far has lost only one final, and that was when Chelsea defeated Arsenal in the same competition. So he would not want that to happen again. And this is Ole's first final for United so far in his entire career. So it's going to be a mouth-watering tie. The likes of Chukwueze might not be available tonight, but they have other players like Gerardo Moreno to bank on. And Ibora also is a fantastic player. If Ibora is past match fit, it's going to be a mouth-watering tie, no doubt about it.
You keep repeating that word, mouth-watering. I assume you're going to be drinking and eating certain things for this game. All right, moving on. UEFA has opened disciplinary proceedings against Barcelona, Juventus and Real Madrid over their involvement in the proposed European Super League. The clubs were part of the 12 founding members of the failed breakaway league. The other 9 clubs renounced the project, but Barcelona, Juventus and Real Madrid have refused to do so. In a statement released on Tuesday, UEFA said, following an investigation conducted by UEFA ethics and disciplinary inspectors in connection with the so-called Super League project, disciplinary proceedings have been opened against Real Madrid, Barcelona and Juventus for a potential violation of UEFA's legal framework. I just have to say, Sayo, that for all the uproar when the ESL was first announced, a lot of it revolved around there was going to be a lack of competition because the clubs would not have to worry about relegation from the league. But with UEFA's moves right now, isn't that just more punitive measures trying to punish and prevent competition against their own competition?
Well, I want to agree with UEFA on this stance. They want to make these clubs, Barcelona, Juve, and Madrid, serve as a lesson to others, as a deterrent for others also. Madrid especially were very, very, how do I put it now, aggressive towards the formation of this Super League formation. And it's going to kill football, no doubt about it. The motive behind it is greed. We all know that, and it's just going to kill football. But imagine no promotion, no relegation. Those teams, those 8 teams, are just going to be those 8 teams. Imagine the likes of Arsenal also being in it, and being whipped week in, week out, or whichever how they want to put it. Arsenal becoming 8 out of 8 teams, and the next season again, they are still going. It kills the competition. But
with the uproar of the fan base, would it really have been such a big competition to speak of? Because if no one is happy that the competition is going on, is anyone really going to watch it? Did UEFA really have anything to worry about?
Yes, they have a lot of things to worry about, because not everybody would hate it. I have actually seen some people who embrace the idea of the Super League. And come to think about it, when you see the reason why the Champions League is the Champions League is because we don't see Barcelona against Juventus often. We do not see Juventus against Real Madrid so often. It is once in a while, and that is where the value comes in. When you begin to see the likes of Madrid against Juventus almost every 2-3 weeks, it loses its value. And that's why, if you want to compare rivalries now between, let's say, Madrid against maybe Bayern Munich or against Juventus, it's not the same wavelength as United against Chelsea, because we play this every season. You understand? Even they meet in some seasons like 4 times, depending on how they meet in other cup games.
I just want to say though, there would have been a group of people back when Champions League was being proposed, back when the very first European league, competitions were being proposed. Many would have made the same argument that they would kill football. But more salient point, I want to say that with this new move on the part of UEFA, their attempts to prevent any dissent, doesn't that harm the opportunity for an evolution of the game in the future? If you don't push back against the status quo, won't that just make it stagnant? These people are already making a lot of money. Won't they just continue to do whatever benefits them to the detriment of the fans? After all, many fans have had a lot to say about UEFA in the last few years.
And that is why I said the motive behind the formation of the Super League itself is very, very fraudulent. You can't take away it's going to add much more prestige. Yes, we know it. Don't also forget that UEFA came out with some sanctions that whichever player participates in the Super League would not play for his country anymore. So it's going to be really difficult for the formation of this to come up. And judging from the fact that it has a greed upbringing, it's not really good for football.
All right, let's move on. Liverpool defender Trent Alexander-Arnold earned a recall as manager Gareth Southgate named the 33-man provisional English squad for Euro 2020 on Tuesday, in May 25th. The right back was dropped in March for World Cup qualifiers, but he made the cut in a squad that will be reduced to 26 players ahead of a June 1st UEFA deadline. The championship, which is being held across Europe between June 11th to July 11th, with semi-finals and finals at London's Wembley Stadium, as well as some group stage games. The delay in naming the final squad gives Southgate a time factor in those still playing European club matches, but also open a guessing game about which 7 will be dropped.
Really, I think our situation is more complicated than any other country at the moment. We've known for a little while that we've got, of this 33, 12 players still to play in the European finals this week. So we were always going to need some additional players for the first part of our camp. So we felt that more time is going to help us to make better decisions. And I've always said my preference would be to name the squad as a clean 26. We were able to do that ahead of Russia. We had standby players that knew their role, and I think that's always a preferable situation. But we've not got an ideal hand of cards this time.
Sayo, what is the debate about Trent Alexander about? I mean, we see how well he plays for Liverpool. What's the debate about?
Well, it might be due to the burnout he's had. You know, he's not had a fantastic season like the season before this. He might actually have been having some niggling injuries, which he has not, shown out to the public. So I think that right back spot is still up for grabs. Don't forget also that Aaron Wan-Bissaka did not even make the squad. We have Kai Walker. We have so many attacking right backs in England. So like Gary Southgate said, I think it needs time. 7 players are going to be trimmed down from 33 to 26, and then they have this week is full of activity in the Europa League and in the Champions League. So,
but to the Wan-Bissaka drop, the snub of Wan-Bissaka, for a team that is heavily saturated with attack-minded right backs, wouldn't it have been beneficial for the manager to have a different type of right back available to him?
Yeah, I agree with you. I see no reason why Aaron Wan-Bissaka should not even make the provisional 33-man list in the first place. When you play some teams like the Germans, the French, who has an amazing attacking talent, you need a much more disciplined or much more disciplined fullbacks now, and which Aaron Wan-Bissaka is much more, to me, defensively is better than the likes of Trent and even Kyle Walker.
And I would even argue that in the last year, he has been getting better in his attacking phase.
Yeah, he's grabbed a couple of goals this season and assists also, which has improved or increased his stock in the transfer market. So I think it's not really a good one, though every coach has his own kind of player.
Hello?
I think
well, it seems we're losing Sayo.
Wan-Bissaka should look somewhere else internationally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hello.
Okay, thank you. Moving on. World number 1 Novak Djokovic was forced into a second set tiebreak by world number 253 Mats Morang before winning through in the second round at the Belgrade Open on Tuesday, May 25th. The Serb handily took the first set 6-2, but Morang refused to give up in the second set. Djokovic was up at a break at 2 points in the second set and was serving for the match while looked back to form in the tiebreak and finally put the German away to win the match 6-2, 7-6. The NBA, Anthony Davis and LeBron James both starred as the Lakers took control of their playoff series. Anthony Davis scored 34 points as the Los Angeles Lakers beat the Phoenix Suns 109-102 to level their NBA Western Conference first round playoff series. Davis, 28, also served up 10 rebounds, while LeBron James, playing through an ankle injury, added 23 points for the Lakers to level the series at 1-1. The Lakers will now switch to their home court at the Staples Center for Game 3 of the best-of-7 series on Friday. Elsewhere on Tuesday, the Dallas Mavericks' Luka Doncic scored 39 points against the Los Angeles Clippers, adding 7 assists and 7 rebounds in a 127-121 win. Doncic, second straight 30-plus point game leaves the Mavericks 2-0 up in their Western Conference series, which now heads back to Dallas for Game 3 on Friday and Game 4 on Sunday. And that's Plus Sports. Follow us at PlusTvAfrica on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And do subscribe to our YouTube channel at PlusTvAfrica. I am Mikhail Tinubu. Thanks for watching. Remember, life is never boring with some sports.